God. Oh man, that sounded horrible. God. Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to say, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Also, all praise to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And it's Officer Yahudai back at it again with another lesson, right? We're going to be reacting to some footage we got in San Antonio. Well, and on top of that, we got plenty more San Antonio footage going to be dropping throughout the weeks, right? Trying to work on San Antonio, build San Antonio up. Then next up, we got Austin, right? And Oklahoma, right? We're trying to pull a whole Paul and hit 5 cities in the same chapter in Acts, like how we be reading about. Look who it is. Look who it is.
Shalom, family.
Look at this guy, man.
Oh yeah, had to join. Look, Malak Yawasop on time with it, man. All praises.
Folks show up, man. But see this guy, man. This guy Matati, man, came on here with that freaking. I look like I'm one of the 3 wise men in
right.
picture and shit.
That's right, man.
Every time I see that picture, I just do think he's one of the 3 wise men, bro.
That's right. If I could find the actual, head cover in there, you know what I'm saying? Look, the fit is sauced out. It's AI generated, but they got me sauced out in the picture, man. All right.
This guy, man, just supposedly sauced out, man. What is that?
Hey, man, it's a Benjamite ting, man.
Oh no, I see what it is, right? And it's a great time to talk about this too, man. You're a whole a-hole for giving me that broken tripod, bro.
What you? Hey, look, it came back to me missing a leg. I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
And that's what just fell. That's what just fell off my desk.
Well,
I know where that broken tripod.
Hey, man. Hey, you guys broke it, man.
God, man. You see what happens, man. It's like this, man. That's why we can't never have good things, right? But yeah, so what we got today is another BLACK, not BLACK, BLACC, right? Bootlicking coon Christian, man. It's a shame, man. Oh, you weren't even there, Matati. I forgot you wasn't even there. You were one of the people who stayed home while their brethren was out warring.
Hey, we was warring too. We was doing 2 different warfares.
Dual front, right? But yeah, we got is another black right here. Let me right. See what's happening right here is Matati. I was telling you about those Christians who hold camp out there.
God,
he's one of them. He's part of them. I don't know the name of the church. He tried to give me a flyer right here. And then we were having a conversation while Don Waller was talking. Like as he was wrapping up, right? I said, "Okay, hold on. Let me get the mic. Let's have a conversation."
Hold on. I'm trying to keep my composure. Tell me somebody made Carlton jokes because this nigga looks like a goddamn. Yeah. He looks like Carlton, bro.
You see, I was thinking about that when I was talking to him because the way this works is Don Waller was talking like this is him wrapping up. Right, he came over about 2 or 3 minutes before he was wrapping up, and I was chopping it up with him. And he asked me about IUIC because he went to IUIC right before this, right? Because I guess they move around in the city. So he was over there watching us for a good minute. He was watching for like an hour, like over there passing out flyers. So he told me he rolled up on IUIC and tried to pass them out a flyer, and they cut him to shreds.
Oh God!
From what he told me, he this dude was ribbons, right? But he came over there and he asked, like, so are y'all with the guys in purple? I was like, well, we're unified with them, but we're not with them. I don't know how to explain it any further than that. Like, because we believe in the same meat and potatoes, right? We got to keep the law, statutes, commandments, Yahweh Shai's and Mashiach. We got to believe in him, have works of faith to be saved. That's what we believe in, right? We just have subtle differences. So this guy, and this is how you know, like, black Christians are really the least qualified to deal with the Bible. This man asked me, so why are y'all separate churches? If y'all both believe in the same things, why are y'all separate churches? Now, before we even get into scriptures, you have to be retarded. Like I'm just gonna be frank, right? Christianity has so many denominations and subdivisions of those denominations. Y'all want to talk about us being breakoffs? They're breakoffs of breakoffs of breakoffs of breakoffs to like the billionth power. So why aren't y'all all the same church? Why? Like that's the same question I asked. The same matter of fact, I asked him that. Why aren't y'all the same church? Because let's look at this. Let's do some research. You can go ahead and say something. You're going to say something while I do this.
I have nothing but Will Smith jokes right now. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Bro, just let him fly, right? Just let him fly.
God, this guy, look at him. Hey, Will, come over here. There's these guys that you might know. Oh my God. This is what happens when Carlton gets dressed by himself and Will's not there to help him.
God. But look at this, right? It says Chris. I said, like, I Googled how many different Christian denominations. It said Christianity can be, I don't even know how to even say that word, right? It says divided. So what?
You said Christianity can be taxonomically.
I've never used that. I've never seen this word ever in my life, right? It says divided into 6 main groups. The Church of the East, Oriental Orthodoxy. How is that a main church? It says East Orthodoxy, Roman Catholicism, Protestantism, and Restorationism. Right now, that's and just looking at that right there, that's 6. Like how they said, those aren't even the subdivisions. Like how you have like Baptist Church, Pentecostal, all that stuff. Like there's a whole bunch of them. Why are y'all not all the same church? If y'all say y'all all believe in Christ. This is why Christ used verses like Matthew 7. Let's look at that real fast. Crazy. I asked him that same question. He didn't really have anything to say. He wanted to just switch topics and things he disagreed with. But I want to deal with this real fast. Matthew said, let's look at the NLT. I've been on my NLT kick for a minute now. Right? It says, do not judge others, or you do not judge others, and you will not be judged, for you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged. Right? And that's wise words from Christ about judging people in hypocrisy. Right? The same judge or the same measure you meet against somebody is going to be met back to you. Don't ask us or try to condemn us on why do we have separate churches when your theology is branched off into 6 main groups, and in the main groups it has a billion different denominations. Like that's ridiculous. You just look like a whole hypocrite when you said that and trying to be like, oh, why are y'all standing together? When at the end of the day we do, which I'll prove later in this, right? I'm gonna read all the way down to verse 4. It says, and why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? Right? And let's stop right there at verse 3. Why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? Your theology is the flimsiest theology on the planet, right? Like Christianity in any form, in any denomination, in any way it wants to try to morph itself into being Mighty Morphin Christianity, right? Mighty Morphin Christianity, whatever form it wants to take, right? It's flimsy when you actually pull the Bible out. So for you to try to talk about, oh, why are you guys not all together, right? For you to say that, you didn't look at what you're actually in. You know what I mean? Like you see this, you see the conclusion that I'm coming to without you.
Oh my God! Hold on. He said, "Mighty Morphin Christianity, go silly Christians."
Play the theme song. You see what I mean? It's like just imagine that, right? The speck in our eye. You want to talk about us in different sects, right? When you look throughout and this is how you know, like, I'm trying to be, it's not scary hours yet, right? That's how you know ignorant individuals don't really read the Bible. And Israelites fall through the same thing. Why are all the camps separated? Look, bro, we've always been in sex. No matter, when you read, especially the New Testament, the same thing y'all want to see, this Christ says, do this. You read in the New Testament, we've always been in different sects. Like you have the Pharisees, you have the Essenes, you have the Sadducees, right? Elders, all different sects. We've always been segmented like that. No matter, like you sitting there reading. I don't understand how somebody can just read the Gospels. You sitting there reading the Gospels and think we've always been unified in one as one kingdom. That's never happened. That's why when you read throughout the prophecies, you see it emphasis being made on the unification of Israel under one head, under one king, under one doctrine. That's when we will see eye to eye, like the prophet said.
I actually have that precept too.
Read it, please.
This is Isaiah 52, and I'm going to start at verse 7. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good tidings of good, that publisheth salvation, that saith unto Zion, thy God reigneth. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, and the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye when Yahweh shall bring again Zion.
Bring again Zion means us being saved. Zion currently isn't saved. And if you want to even play a game about the Jewish people, right? They're not even saved because they're warring with people right now, aka the Palestinians, like they have been since they've been there. So to say that Zion's been brought again, whether you want to believe we're Zion or they're Zion, that hasn't happened yet. So currently, Israel will be into different sects like we've always been in.
That part. And not even that. Before we even recognize as a nation, and the surrounding nations would just call us the Shasu people, they reported us as they said that we were in gangs, going around being things like thugs and gangs and whatnot. And even that, when we was in the wilderness, even amongst ourselves as tribes, we had different sets within families with different not logos,
clans. We had different clans.
Yeah, we had different clans within the tribes, within the families. We just do this, man.
and it just sounds like blacks and Hispanics. Just looking at it, you just look at the propensity of these people. It's just blacks and Hispanics. No matter that, you just read. You ever just sit down and just be reading the Old Testament? Like, dang, I could just see us doing this right now.
Facts.
Right now.
Look. They getting some
that too.
Some woolly sheep hair and putting it in a pillow so that way your man can jump out the window because your dad trying to kill him.
That's some black people stuff, bro. I'm telling you, bro. But and the thing is, right, like I was saying before, like us IUIC, various other camps, we like people want to say, well, why y'all aren't unified? We're all unified under the same front, under Yahweh, right? We all believe in Christ. We all believe there's a duty we have to have into reaching our people. That's what we do. Since we all decided we hated ourselves and how we've been living and how we've been treating each other. So we've hated that. We decided to start loving each other and to start actually caring about our people. We're united under the front of work needs to be done. That's how we're unified, right? And Alan Cuban made a great point right here, man. Cash App SICARII Dallas, Cash App Matathia, right? Support the troops. Do that. Support the troops, right? But the thing is this: IUIC is good at certain things that SICARII isn't. SICARII is good at certain things IUIC isn't, and vice versa. And you can use that same analogy for all the camps out here. You know why? Because there's diversity of spiritual gifts. We see that in the Bible, and let's read about it. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 4, it says, there are different kinds of spiritual gifts, but the same Spirit is the source of them all. Right? What's that same Spirit? The Holy Spirit has been dispensed unto our leaders to lead us and to guide us in our various sects. That leads us into all coming to the same conclusion that work needs to be done. Work has to be done. Our people are killing each other, man. If this isn't the truth and what we're doing is irrelevant, we're all gonna die in a few years. It just is what it is, right? So verse 5, there are different kinds of service, right? Because just like IUIC serves the nation in different ways than we do, or IUIC versus any other camp. All different camps serve the nation in different separate ways, but we all have the same spirit. But we serve the same Lord. God works in different ways, but it is the same God who does the work in all of us. A spiritual gift is given to each of us so we can help each other. To one person, the Spirit gives the ability to give wise advice. To another, the same Spirit gives a message of special knowledge, right? The same Spirit gives great faith to another. And to someone else, the one Spirit gives the gift of healing. See, you just starting off right there. Everybody has different abilities. You just have to find your ability and find out what makes you unique through the Spirit and take advantage of it for the good, for the benefit of your nation, which is the body of a Mashiach, which is going to say, all right, verse 10, it says he gives one person the power to perform miracles and another the ability to prophesy. He gives someone else the ability to discern whether a message is from the Spirit of God or from another spirit. Still another person is given the ability to speak in unknown languages, while another is given the ability to interpret what is being said. Verse 11, it is the one and only Spirit who distributes all these gifts. He alone decides which gift each person should have. Verse 12, the human body has many parts, but the human body has many parts, but the many parts make up one whole body. So it is with the body of Hamashiach. So everybody has their own part to play. IUIC has their part to play. Bro, IUIC is reaching different countries, right? Different countries where we wouldn't even believe Israelites are, and teaching them that they're Israel, right? SICARII has their ministry. Hell, freaking Battle Axe has their ministry. Freaking Wi-Fi got their ministry. Sons of Thunder got their ministry. Anointed House of Saints got their ministry. All of us have our ministry and play crucial roles to this truth. Because, and on top of that, there's certain speakers that certain people have that they like, right? Everybody has their own personal speakers that they like, that they mess with, and like, I'm about to tune in to get my edification. Not everybody learns from the same speaker or learns from the same style. So we all have different unique properties in ourselves and attributes in ourselves to attract a certain type of people, because Israel's is different. All of us are different and unique. So we would like to deal with people and deal with the way people speak that actually speaks to us. Matati ain't gonna speak to everybody. Yadi ain't gonna speak to everybody. Chief, Deacon, everybody ain't gonna speak to everybody, but certain people have their teachers that they mess with that gives them the edification.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Just to add on to it, people forget. Let me read this real quick. Exodus 15:3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. And of course, we all know that we are in what? It's spiritual warfare. There are many different ways to wage war, right? I don't know if anyone's ever read it, or they haven't, they need to read the book called The Art of War. You gotta understand something. There's different terrains and there's different aspects and different ways to wage war. In this aspect, you have the way that SICARII wages war. It's not going to be the same as IUIC, but for those certain venues for that battle, for that war front where they're going to be waging that war at, you need a certain party that is there. You're going to have your snipers at a higher altitude, your foot soldiers on the ground. You're going to have your UPKs, you're going to have your IUICs, your SICARIs, your HOIs, your YFIs out in different battlefields, so that way they can go and wage war that needs to be waged at that field. But people don't want to, the Christians don't understand that concept. We are literally in a spiritual warfare, and everybody has their part to do in this war in the area that they in.
So Israel don't even understand that. You go on the internet right now and see, like, I turn on Facebook, IG. You see somebody hating on camps right now for no reason. But people who sit at the house who don't do no work whatsoever wants to hate on a camp who's actually doing something. It's like, y'all want to know why the celebrities know that they're, you know why certain celebrities know they're Israelites? You know why they know that they're Israelites? Is because of camps. Let's just be honest, bro. They're not stumbling across your I'm sitting at the house bashing camp video and realizing they're Israelite. Them videos got like 20 views on YouTube, maybe 10 views, well, maybe 100 views on TikTok, because TikTok let anybody eat, right? But even that, you're not even growing. The Lord ain't giving that the increase. You know what he is giving the increase? SICARI, IUIC. As many people, this too, right? IUIC, right? As many people who want to hate on IUIC, people keep on, a new different person opens up their mouth against them all the time, but all you ever see is exponential growth from these people. That's all you ever see. And it's not even just IUIC, it's SICARI and all the various camps. Everybody wants to open up their mouths about what we do while we hazard our lives for your sake. Right? Because we're not just doing it for ourselves. We hazard our lives for your sake so that we can hasten the kingdom, because you're not going to do it, right? You hate on us, you make statuses about us, you lie on us, and all you ever see from us and all the rest of the camps is growth. I think when Christ said blessed is he that, like, let's talk about blessed when you're when somebody curses you. What is that? I think it's in the Beatitudes in like Matthew 5 or Matthew 6. But I digress. Right, all you see is exponential growth from all of us. And this too, right? Leviticus 19 verse 16. This is a problem. And I think when it finally comes down to it, right? When Jacob's trouble is full effect, the man of sin, the man of perdition, Esau is finally revealed to be who he is, and none of the colors mean anything anymore. I think a lot of people are going to be transgressing this one right here. This is Leviticus 19 verse 16. It says, "Do not spread slanderous gossip among your people." I mean, people are doing that now to various camps. Man. It says, "Do not stand idly by when your neighbor's life is threatened. I am Yahweh." Right? When all hell breaks loose in America, right? And it's just Israel against the world, it ain't gonna matter what color shirt you got on. It don't matter if you got a purple shirt, a black shirt, a blue shirt. Freaking, it don't matter what shirt or what color fringe you got on. I'm not about to stand idly by when my brother's life is threatened. And I think a lot of people in the end time, I think a lot of Israelites are going to be out there being so focused in their congregations that they're going to allow that to happen. Oh, he didn't have my shirt on, so I mean, hey, he not in the truth, he can get put to death. I think a lot of people are going to be that way. Just off seeing how Israel moves. And I'm just being honest. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to anybody, but I just see how a lot of Israelites move, right? And there's a severe lack of keeping the moral laws, the things that you can't see. Like, anybody can see fringes, everybody can see a beard on your face, but you got people holding grudges, right? Lying on people, spreading slanderous gossip on people, right? Breaking all the transgressions that you can't see, but the Lord can see those. And those people are going to get judged hardcore for that. And if I see them doing that now, but when Jacob's trouble ain't even here, if I see you doing this now, when you get to go to work, right, come home and do whatever you want to do in your leisure time, and I see you breaking these, what makes me think when the heat gets turned up, now you're gonna keep these laws? You know what I mean? Why would I think otherwise? Right? Because the thing is this as well. It's all bigger. Everything we do. And what we represent in our different sects or our different organizations, what we do is bigger than our organization. It's about preaching Yahweh Shai, bro. Let's be honest. It's about preaching Yahweh Shai. And the people who's not with our organization, those people are still with us, like Hamashiach Yahweh Shai says. Right? Everybody doesn't have to be into one organization to make it. Matthew. This is Mark 9 verse, what is this? Yeah, Mark chapter 9, verse 38. It says, John said to Yahushua, teacher, we saw someone using your name to cast out demons, but we told him to stop because he wasn't in our group, right? You see this happening with Israelites now. Oh, if you're not with us, I mean, it's whatever, right? I'm going to read that last part again. But we told him to stop because he wasn't in our group. Don't stop him, Yahushua said. No one who performs a miracle in my name will soon be able to speak evil against me. Anyone who is not against us is for us. Let me say that again. Anyone who is not against us is for us. So everybody, no matter if they're in IUIC, Wi-Fi, and all the various camps, right? I can't just spout them all off at the top of my head, right? I'm just saying, I'm just lumping everybody together when I say this, right? All of our people who's outside of SICARII and who are doing this work and doing miracles in Yahushua's name, they're not against us, but for us. You know why they're for us? Because there's more people out to reach a greater amount of people so that the elect can get sealed even faster. That's why they're not against us. I feel like people I just feel like people want to just stay in Babylon. I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all want to wax old here and die in your captivity and come back again as a baby and go through it all over again. That's what I be feeling like.
That's what that sounds about right.
Jesus, man. Let me read the next verse. Is it if anyone gives you even a cup of water because you belong to the Messiah, I tell you the truth, that person will surely be rewarded. So if the people who's not in our group and is not specifically doing this labor, but actually sitting here supporting people, like either financially or giving Israelites a service, right? They're going to be rewarded. So how much more the people who labor who's not in your group, right? Like, what do we do? Are we reading the same Bible is what I'm saying. Are we reading the same Bible, right? You got that you want to say, Matati, before I get back into this video?
I was going to say, are we understanding the same Bible?
That part, right? Let's go back into this. Okay, no, I got to say one more thing before the video starts, right? Right. So the way I said all that to him, as far as like he asked me about like why are we in separate churches. I said the same thing I said here, like y'all have separate churches. What are you talking about? So he says like, well, I had a problem with. I said, do you believe in their theology as far as like salvation only being for Israel? I was saying yes, because when you read the Bible, it doesn't say anything different. Like it talks about people stemming from Abraham, his descendants, them getting a blessing through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then them getting a Messiah to fulfill that promise. That's what I believe. Y'all just believe something different. So he said to me, right? Because I finished off with saying before I started walking over there, he told me in the prophecies, salvation isn't exclusively for Israel. I'm just looking like, where are you going to go for that? And he's saying that, and he as soon as I said that, I said, okay, no, he's wrapping it up. Let's go ahead and deal with this on camera. And so now everybody's caught up to where we are right now. That's what's happening. So let's go.
I want to show you something, brother. Come here. Like I'm not gonna be rude to you. Give me Isaiah 53. You know about Isaiah 53? You know about the prophecies about Christ, him being the Messiah, the suffering servant. Can you give me verse 8? Let me show you something.
Yeah, I went to Isaiah 53 because he said the prophecies don't, like, as far as like the Christological prophecies don't just revolve around Israel, right? And there's specific ones that talk about the salvation for all people, right? So that's why I went to Isaiah 53.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 8. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? Hold on, who's speaking right now? Isaiah, right? What's Isaiah's nation? He's an Israelite, right? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. Isaiah says, for the transgression of his people, Isaiah's people is the Israelites.
And that's possessive. So when Christians will do this thing where this tap dance, they want to talk about Hebrew hopscotch. That'd be so funny to me. It's about Hebrew hopscotch. They do this thing where, well, it says his people did it, but it doesn't say not for everybody else. But here's the thing: where does it mention y'all at? Because it says he was stricken for our iniquities and for my people. Let's go into this real fast. You have something you want to say?
Dude looks like a suburban white dad trying to do a barbecue.
Jesus.
That's what he dressed like.
I forgot Benjamin just rude.
Hey, man. Look, somebody had to do it. I don't think nobody, adequately roasted him, but I digress. I'm going to wait.
Yeah. I just know there's more, right? But this word where it says for my people in Hebrew, it's nation, people, nation, persons, members of one's people, compatriots, countrymen, kindred, kinsmen. It's all you. This is how it's used, right? So folk, we're black. It's black people, folk. But yeah, right. It's our own people. So Isaiah's people is Israel. It doesn't. Where is this mentioning other nations? I don't see it. And if that was ultimately God's plan, because they always do this thing where it's like, well, the Old Testament, it just shows you a picture of the plan, but it doesn't show you the ultimate fulfillment. Well, if that's the case, this is prophecy from this point. What Isaiah 53 is from the perspective of the time period that Isaiah is taking place in, right? The time period which he lived in, this is prophecy. So if it was ultimately the Lord's goal to save all people, it would say it here. It would be like, okay, for my people, and the Gentiles are scattered everywhere for everybody in the world. Okay, then you'd have if it said that, I'd be like, okay, I'm cut, right? But it doesn't mention them, because you know why? Because God doesn't care about them, like he's always shown. So let's go back to the video.
When you look at the word for people right there in Hebrew, it's nation. So we say my nation in scripture. So we had a conversation over there about how you said the prophecies prophesied about salvation not being exclusive. Can you show me the prophecy about salvation not being exclusive in the Old Testament?
But you're gonna love this one. He has a verse. He has a verse, and I really want to use this. Like, you know how we play Demon After Camp?
God.
Like, he has a verse. If he would have swung it a little bit better, it'd have been a little bit harder to deal with. But it was just such a weak and just ill attempt, man. You know me, man. If I was a Christian, I'm bringing people back into the church, and this would be one of my devil verses for sure. I can skip it.
I looked up. Why are you finding it? You can still find it. I can ask you a quick question. Do you disagree with that?
And I'm just pausing right here to say this, like, because Kyle's holding the camera right now. He's far back, but he's about to scoot up in a minute. So I'm just gonna just translate what he said.
And that's for Christ dying for everybody?
Oh, shoot, Bruce Vega, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Brakatham, man. And Wata Wada for your gracious donation.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 11.
So his verse is Malachi 1, verse 11.
Oh, God.
It's great. It's great. It's like, I can't wait to get to camp to use this on the soldiers. Because like he just didn't know how to do it. He just didn't. It's just like poor little Tink Tink. He just didn't know how to be a demon enough, man. But the thing about me, I do.
For from the rising of the sun, even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles, and in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. For my name shall be great among the heathen, said the Lord of hosts.
So what does that mean? Where do you get Christ dying for everybody? because we're not saying his name isn't going to be known to the Gentiles or they won't be able to give a sacrifice. That doesn't mean Christ died for them.
And when it was read, I didn't think about how he could have used it, because it says like a pure offering. It's like everywhere in the world, basically saying like everywhere in the world, incense is going to be burned to me. Basically, worship is going to be given to Yahweh from everywhere, right? And a pure sacrifice is going to be offered unto him. Now that he's saying that pure sacrifice is literally Christ. So now you can use that as a jumping off point to go straight to the New Testament. That's what he was trying to do. That's what he was trying to do. I was like, wow. I was like, wow. I said that's a new one. I ain't heard that one before. That is a new one. We're gonna go in a minute.
you gotta be quicker with that, Carlton. You gotta be quicker than that, man.
How you doing, bro?
I think I know what you're talking about. So you're saying that pure sacrifice is Christ? Brother, I mean, you can't break the scriptures down like that, because you're using it as a jumping off point. No, I mean we can take our time. I just wanted like this. It says a pure sacrifice. Gentiles could always give a pure sacrifice.
Okay, so the point he made is this pure sacrifice has to be Christ, because the Gentiles couldn't give a sacrifice. I'm just looking like, I know you didn't. Because like right after you said that, I understood why he went there. I was like, wow, you really could have tried to mess me up. Like I understood it. I could combat it, because I mean the precepts that I brought out. But I'm saying like you really can mess somebody up who's not prepared for that. If you're not prepared to prove, because like and this would be bad. And I'm not even trying to be rude. I'm like, when I say this, anybody who is watching this from another camp who teaches this would be really bad for you if you believe that the law of sacrifice is done. Because if that's the case, now you're going to have to argue that from a point that's talking, unless you want to deal with the context, you're going to have to argue that from a point that the law of sacrifice is done with, and now this is Christ. I mean, that's one of the options you can do, right? But the thing is, if we go to I'm going to go to Isaiah 56, where it talks about the heathen can give a sacrifice. Now, Hebrews like Christians like to use Isaiah 56 all the time. I'm taking it and using it for everything now, because it cuts a lot of different doctrines, right? But he's saying this pure sacrifice is talking about Christ, and I was like, no, we're not about to do that. I'll tell you what we're not about to do, and it's that, right? Because the heathen could always give a sacrifice. The only one who couldn't give sacrifices are the ones that it specifically names in Deuteronomy 23. Deuteronomy 23. Yeah. So let's jump back into this. Now I'm gonna make a point before we, because I think he's gonna go a little bit further into Malachi. Let me just do this.
That was never. I mean, the only Gentiles that can't is a Moabite, Ammonite, a bastard, or a Canaanite. A Canaanite. Yeah. So the other ones could give a sacrifice. That's not. I can't pull that out of the scriptures.
And he said it like, oh yeah, you can't prove that. He said, no, that's not true. I said, you said that with so much in my head. I'm just thinking, look at my face. I said, you're saying that with so much pride. You're literally about to say a heathen can't give a sacrifice. Like you don't read this book. What you read is that half Bible that they give at a vacation Bible school with Matthew through Revelation. That's what you read. There's no way you're reading there's no way you're reading what the so-called Old Testament for you to boldly declare that statement.
Give me Isaiah 56. No. Take it back to the law.
And he said, no, just take it back to the law. Watch this Batati.
Deuteronomy 23.
I just said, I said, all right.
Sure, why not?
I said, all right.
I'll be happy to go to the law for you.
Because these Christians, they think you only got one cut waiting for them, bro. I have plenty.
I can't pull that out of the scriptures. Give me Isaiah 56. No. Take it back to the law. Deuteronomy 23. So I can't use the future temple, because this is the the future temple, the temple is going to be in the kingdom. Can I use that? Okay, this is Isaiah 56 is a prophecy.
And the only reason it skips right there because it was two different video files. I don't know what happened there with that. But the point I was going to make, the reason why I wanted to harp on Isaiah 56, because it says it clearly, right? You can try to play games with Deuteronomy 23 like a lot of Hebrew Israelites do, and unfortunately a lot of Christians do. But you're not playing games with Isaiah 56. It says what it says. Watch this.
Book of Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger.
Son of the stranger right there in Hebrew, ben nakar, that's a heathen.
That's a Hebrew word for son of the stranger there. Like that's used specifically for a non-Israelite. Ben nakar.
That have joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. For thus said the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths.
The eunuchs that keep the Sabbaths, right? They're also the son of the stranger, heathen, right? To keep the Sabbath, right?
And choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a place and a name better than the sons.
Yeah, a name and a place better than the sons, because a eunuch can't have children, right? So a name is better than sons, something better than children. Hey, Kyle, come closer.
Better than sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also the son of the stranger that joined himself to the Lord.
That's a heathen, the son of the stranger that joined himself to the Lord, right?
To serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servant. Everyone that keeps the Sabbath from polluting it and take hold of my covenant. Even them,
The heathen, even them,
will I bring to my holy mountain
the holy mountain,
and make them joyful in my house of prayer.
the temple, go ahead.
Their burnt offerings,
They're what?
their burnt offerings,
And their what?
and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar.
So the burnt offerings will be accepted upon the altar. Go ahead.
For my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
So the heathens can give a sacrifice. That's in the new temple. So to make a point off the pure sacrifice, you can't use that as a landing point and now go into Christ and say,
No, see, because you're cut. Whatever point you're trying to make off of Malachi chapter 1 is dead now.
It's done.
It's finished. It's finished. So now that pure sacrifice has to mean something else. But before we get to that, because I want to go into Malachi chapter 1, verse 10 through 11, right? Because if you look at Malachi chapter 1, and honestly more places in Malachi, Yahweh is getting on the priest for taking his priesthood lightly. That's what's happening there. And let's just pull it up. Let's just pull it up, right? Because I want to deal with the sacrifices again too. Let's just pull it up. Let's see, like sin of the priest, right? Let's see, despise my name, right? Yeah, I'm gonna read 1 through 6, chapter 1 and 6 through 7, and then we're gonna jump back down to 10 and read into 11. Because we don't need all that information because it's saying the same thing over and over again. Malachi 1 and 6, it says, a son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith Yahweh of hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And ye say, where have we despised thy name? Ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, and ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? And then you say the table of Yahweh is contemptible, right? They're taking the priesthood lightly. That's what they've been doing, right? That's why you see in what's that like Hosea 4 and 6?
Where
it says like read that real fast. Read Hosea 4 and 6.
Children shall no longer be priests to me.
Yeah.
See here. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
Lawyer's been doing this for a minute, right? Lawyer's been treating the priesthood as has been contemptible. That's what's been happening. You see that through Malachi. You see that in other places. You see that in Hosea. So what's happening here, since they've done that, going to verse 10, it says, who is there among you that would shut the doors for naught, neither do ye kindle fire on mine altar for naught? I have no pleasure in you, saith the Lord. The same thing, basically the same thing is going into in like Hosea 4 and 6, right? Like, you should be no preaching to me, says you despise knowledge. Says, I have no pleasure in you, saith Yahweh of hosts, neither will I accept an offering at your hand, for from the rising of the sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles, and in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering for my name shall be great among the heathen, saith Yahweh of hosts. He's like, since y'all been taking this contemptibly, right? You've taken light the priesthood, yeah. You've been having abominable like offerings, right? Basically, it said like you polluted the offering. What does that say? Like, it's wherein you have polluted thee, right? We've polluted, like the Levites was polluting the offerings through taking the priesthood to be contemptible, right? He's saying he's going to glorify this priesthood when it like how in the end times, well, everybody's going to come, like how you see in Isaiah 56. Everybody's going to come and give a sacrifice, right? This is going to be a glorious thing. That's what you're taking lightly. That's what's happening here. It's not talking about some since the Gentile couldn't give a sacrifice, there's going to be now a pure. It's just like how they say in John chapter 1, where it says he came unto his own and his own rejected him. So matter of fact, let me read that. He's doing the same thing with the Christians do in John chapter 1. This one right here, like John 1 and 12, it says, no, I'm starting at verse 11. He said, he came unto his own, and his own received him not, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. Right? Verse 13, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. They're doing the same thing. He's trying to essentially do the same thing with Malachi chapter 1, verse 11. Like, since y'all despise the priesthood, now there's going to be a pure sacrifice for everybody. No, that's not what's happening here. The Lord's going to make his sacrifices glorious. That's what's going to happen, and you see that happening in Isaiah 56 and Isaiah chapter 2 and Micah chapter 4. That's what you see. So no, sir, that's not how that works, right? And when you see the other nations coming to give a sacrifice, you see in Isaiah chapter 2. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 2. Oh, my bad. Before we read that, Jeremiah, before we read this. Jeremiah 33. Let's go to Jeremiah 33. I gotta see it. I think it's 16. Those days. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Jeremiah 33:16. I'm pulling the NLT on this one because the KJV be killing me. It says Jeremiah 33:16 NLT. It says, in that day Judah will be saved, and Jerusalem will live in safety, and this will be its name. The Lord is our righteousness, for this is what the Lord says. David will have a descendant sitting on the throne of Israel forever. Yahushua. Verse 18, and there will always be Levitical priests to offer burnt offerings and grain offerings and sacrifices unto me. So that's always going to exist. Why? For the things that are required. Because in the kingdom, we're not going to be giving sin sacrifices, but there's others. Why? Because we have the Holy Spirit and we won't be able to transgress the laws anymore. But the heathen are going to have these given. And guess who's going to be there to make sure it happens? The Levitical priesthood. So seeing that that's going to happen went after salvation times. Now we can go to Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah 2:2. We can read in the NLT. It doesn't matter. Since I read that in there. It says, in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be the highest of all. the most important place on earth, it will be raised above the other hills, and people from all over the world will stream there to worship. And what happens during that? How do you worship the Lord? How do heathens give a sacrifice? You bring food or livestock to the fence, right? That's because she brought that out the other day, right? When it talks about the heathen giving these sacrifices, they're bringing like livestock or certain things, basically just food, to be offered to the fence. They don't even get to come in. They don't get to come in. You're bringing stuff for the Lord to feast upon, right? That's what's happening. And this is when the Lord's priesthood will be glorified.
That's right.
This is when the incense will be offered to the Lord. This is when the sacrifice will be offered to the Lord, and it would be pure, ritually clean. Because you see in Malachi chapter 1, they made it contemptible. You see in the pure, where it says pure sacrifice, the Hebrew word right there for pure, it means ceremonially pure. They weren't doing that. They weren't doing that right there, obviously, if they were treating the priesthood contemptibly. So where you see it being glorified is in prophecies like Isaiah 2, prophecies like Isaiah 56, Micah chapter 4, which is basically Isaiah 2. Same thing. Everybody's going to stream there to come and worship. Hell, even in, what is that, Zechariah 14, where it talks about the nations have to come and celebrate the Feast of Booths or Feast of Tabernacles?
I believe so. Let me check.
I'm pretty sure that's where that is. I want to stay on topic, but that's you can't show up to these feasts empty. You have to show up to something to present. That's Deuteronomy 16. It says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before Yahweh empty. So things are going to have to be given to the Lord. And his priesthood, when his house is being established above all the rest of the nations, right? And his priesthood goes back into it being ritually clean and being orchestrated in a way which he prescribed it to be in the law, ritually clean. Then the pure sacrifice will be given. That's what's happening right here. Not whatever type of shenanigans he was trying to pull out of there. And that's a great demon cut, bro. I can't wait to use that on some soldiers who didn't watch class today. I cannot wait. Because I'm gonna swing that a lot better than he is. But yeah, let's go back into this. That guy is wow. Let me clarify.
I hear you. I totally agree with you.
Let me land real quick, right? So we can't use Malachi chapter 1 as a jump off or jump to the New Testament and say Christ died for everybody. That's not how you break down the scriptures. And Isaiah 56, that proves that the heathen can give a sacrifice. We can put it in the law too. You want the law? Give me I want Lamentations 1 verse 10. These are the heathen that cannot give a sacrifice.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 3. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter the congregation of the Lord.
So an Ammonite or Moabite, these are nations, can't enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter in the shall they not enter in the congregation of the Lord forever.
The Ammonites and the Moabites, they cannot give a sacrifice because they can't enter into the congregation. The congregation is temple worship. We're going to prove that with this. Go ahead.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 1 and verse 10. The adversaries have spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things. For she hath seen that the heathen entered unto her sanctuary.
Your sanctuary,
whom you didst command, that they should not enter into your congregation.
So the congregation sanctuary is synonymous. That's temple worship. So an Ammonite and a Moabite cannot enter into that to give a sacrifice. But the other ones can. The ones are specifically prohibited, the other ones can give a sacrifice. You see that multiple places in the Bible. Multiple places in the Bible, bro. And if you really wanted to be like, it's not a really good one, you can see in what is that, Ezra 4, where they talk about we give sacrifice. Remember Ezra 4 where they say like we want to help build the temple with you because we offer sacrifice to your God, burn incense unto your God. I really wouldn't use that one because you could play a game because they just say later after that you have nothing to do with us. But there's place where heathen's been wanting to do that. What are you saying?
Oh no, I was great. Like, because Brady Bunch was like, nah, you don't got nothing to do with this. Get away from us while we do what we're supposed to be doing, man.
Yeah, that's where I really wouldn't use that. I mean, you could play a game with it, but you see, back then where you have what is this? I'm gonna use a precept these Hebrews like Christians want to use, right? They're Hebrews like John 3:16. Deuteronomy 23:7, it says, "Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their third generation." So an Edomite or an Egyptian, after their third generation of being around us, could enter the sanctuary, aka temple worship, and give a sacrifice. So that's letting you know other nations can give a sacrifice. So what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? These heathens can't give. You didn't read this book before you came up here, and that's how I know IUIC mopped him up. If that, I know IUIC just beat this dude up because he started to run after this. So he put his track shoes on, right?
He put his backyard barbecue 5s on, man.
Yeah, he had to, because he guess where he's gonna go after this. Just take a wild guess, man.
The Alamo.
No, not literal place, like in the Bible.
It's
not John 3:16.
I thought we were being literal. I was gonna be like, there were certain ungodly niggas who snitched.
Bro. He went to the other John 3:16, Acts 10. What about Cornelius? About Cornelius, man?
Oh, you mean the Jew who's a Roman centurion? Yeah.
Powerful
brother.
That guy.
Powerful brother.
So what about what happened in Acts 16?
Battery.
We can go to that and ask, but I want to ask you this question again. I'm sorry.
Hold up. Yo, student of the Savior. You see this comment, Matasia? Tell me it's not.
Yo,
it's not.
Hold on, wait. He's a walk. Is it scary hours yet?
Just let it go, bro. What you got?
I can see it now. He's a walking fucking paradox. No, he's not.
Oh my god!
Running with a trunk and a triceratops.
Let me keep going, bro.
I proved it.
I'm saying, like, when you go to the New Testament, you see people like Cornelius being saved, you see like the Roman soldiers being saved, and Paul and Peter, those two things to say people aren't saved. What is the logic?
How do I rationalize that?
Because specifically, it was said they are saved.
Okay, let me rationalize that.
And then,
I got now. As far give me Acts 10 where Cornelius is located. I don't believe Cornelius was a non-Israelite. I honestly don't see where Christians get that, because look at this. Read verse 1. In the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 1, there was a certain man in Caesarea. You know where Caesarea is? It is Israel. So he's from Israel. So how do we, starting with that, how do we get...
from the map that was back there, it was
still Israel, yes. So he's already from Israel. Go ahead. Sorry. So how do we get it?
And I'm gonna stop this real quick. Right now, I've had plenty of Christians do this. See, he's from Caesarea, right? Like, do y'all not know where that is? Y'all you just say that like, see, it doesn't say Israel.
They think because it sounds like it's a non-Hebrew word that it's not of Israel. Y'all don't know how to do basic geography, man.
Yeah.
Almost every Bible has a map of Israel. Specifically, it'll be titled "During the Time of Paul," and you'll see Caesarea on the northwest coast of Israel.
It's there.
You see?
Like it's there, bro. And the reason why it even has a name like that is because Rome was taking over territories in that area. Like that. I just don't see where it's just like you just start just picking out things where it's like, well, if that doesn't work, he's from the Italian band, right?
My bad. Go ahead.
It's like saying like, okay, then, so if you're in the American Army, does that make you now a white man? And they'll look at you crazy. Like you'll make that statement and they'll look at you crazy. Like, what are you talking about? And then like not even to understand that's how I'm looking at you right now when you make a statement like that.
That part. And apparently it's impossible for them to believe that there were Jews anywhere in Rome beforehand, but yet at the same time, last time I checked, Caesar Augustus was the Caesar and ruler at the time who expelled Jews from Rome in 54 AD, circa. And then some time later, they were allowed back into Rome. So they were in Rome. They got kicked out and got allowed back into Rome. What are we talking about? Jews were most certainly in Rome. They had jobs. You know, I mean, hey, last time I checked, they made us work. You can't have us work and not support your economy.
So like I was back. I'm back. Right. Let me go back to this real fast.
Tell me that again.
He's from Caesarea.
How is it? I forgot this happened. That blew his mind.
Hold on, wait. Don't press play yet. Hold on. This is a snippet.
I'm just like it blew his mind. His hands on his head. He's like, "Whoa, say that again." I'm looking like your mind's blown by that. So you just going around you're just saying things and then not knowing.
It sounds about
like
right.
my face and his face. It's just like it tells you everything that's happened here. I'm just like, that really cut you. It's that easy. It's that easy. We need to go out there with an easy button.
You don't want to see it.
That was easy.
Place where
He lived in Israel. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying to me.
Yes.
Hey.
You want to go on the map? You want to type in Caesarea?
I hear what you're saying. I'm just
Wait, hold on. Don Wilder, my nigga, bro. Because he already knew. You
can see it in his face, like go ahead, keep going. I got something for you. Keep going.
He does. He does. Bro, I say something like that's how you know it's the spirit. I say something so specific. I bring up an article that's so specific. This dude already has it ready. He has it ready, just waited. Talk about my nigga, bro.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so he lives in Israel, but that doesn't prove that he's an Israelite. What that proves is that his location.
Well, here's my reasoning by saying this.
Okay.
Christianity believes he is a non-Israelite. I'm just if you want to say it like that, which that word is so vague, I don't like to say it. But he's a non-Israelite, right? That's what Christians believe. Bro. Where Israelites are welcome. Go ahead. Where Israelites are welcome. Go ahead. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. Now, they're called the Italian band. Now, centurion, do you know what a centurion is? Over 100 of what army? What nationality of people was in the Roman army?
You have to be a Roman citizen.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And this is what I mean by you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? To in the Roman army, like you had the various. I think it's the legions, like just the basic infantrymen. I believe it's the legions, right? They get paid. You have to be a Roman citizen, no matter what your nationality is. You have to be a Roman citizen to be a part of that part. Outside of that, you have this thing called the auxiliaries. The auxiliaries was the other like other nations that were the people who didn't have citizenship in Rome. They got paid less. They got used as body shields.
Basically,
that. So what?
I said basically it's smart on their part. It's a military tactic. They take over a province, and the people that they take over, they enlist those men to be the centurions, the fodder. That way, when they want to distract or do something,
the centurions weren't the fodder though. The auxiliaries was the fodder.
So like it. That's what I meant. The auxiliaries. But again, even so, it's best to have someone who you've conquered to be out as fodder. That's a military tactic, and Rome was known for doing that. But if he was a good one, you know what I'm saying? You know how they like to say a good one, then you can rank up and be a centurion.
Yeah, because I think I found it. I found the site. Let me see. I think it's EnglishHistory.net. Let me pull this up. Like it's legionaries. That's what it was called. Yeah, two main types. You had the legionaries, like the elite soldiers. You had to be a Roman citizen to be a part of that, right? Then you got the auxiliaries. Look at this guy.
Oh my God!
His auxiliary, on the other hand, was a soldier who was not a Roman citizen. They were only paid a third of the legionaries' wage, and generally did the most dangerous jobs. Auxiliaries guarded forts and frontiers, but also fought in battles, often in the front lines. Yeah. they got thrown as body shields, man. That's like this guy really. It's just like you don't know. You're just gonna just say it. That's Christianity. Because why learn a breakdown if breakdowns don't matter and all you got to do is say you believe in Christ? Why learn about history if the history of the Bible don't matter? Just say you believe in Christ. It lets you come out here, right, to the men of God, right, and just get killed. They send you as auxiliaries. It's like we're dealing like when Chief dealt with Dr. Brown, that's like dealing against a legionary, right? Centurion legionary, right? One of them. Now, you guys, the black Christians, and I don't mean that as even a race thing, right? Racist thing, but like I said in the beginning of this, black Christians are usually like the least qualified to deal with the scriptures, and that's the sad part about it, bro. Y'all supposed to be guys. We supposed to be God's chosen people, and y'all are the least qualified to deal with these scriptures. That's amazing to me, right? But it just so happens that y'all are the least qualified. Y'all get used as auxiliaries for us to slaughter on the front lines. You come to the front lines, the most dangerous. Because let me bring that back out, right? You come to the front lines. Let's go back to that. This is what y'all do. Or it's auxiliaries, right? It's auxiliaries guarded forts and frontiers, but also fought in battles, often in the front lines, right? Y'all got used as meat shields. Black Christians get used as meat shields for the Hebrew Israelites to come and dismantle, bro.
That's right.
That's what happened, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that this has to happen, right? It's unfortunate that you have to struggle with that. Black Christians are a group of men that struggle with white supremacy, bro. That's what's happening here. You're struggling with white supremacy, and since you struggle with white supremacy, it makes you struggle with the Bible. Because white supremacy, the Bible is literally the polar opposite of white supremacy. It's literally the polar opposite of it. Because you see in the gospel, the good news, it talks about the freedom of those who are oppressed, the freedom of Zion, to give beauty for the people who's had ashes all their lives, right? You now becoming a walking paradox, man. Like how that song go with Tyler the Creator?
He said, "I'm a walking fucking paradox." No, I'm not. 3 stars with a fucking triceratops. Hold on, wait. I got you. Hold on, wait.
No, don't play YouTube, man. Don't, please, God.
Oh, God. That's right.
YouTube
That's right.
is not having. They're not having 1 second of it. God. But let's go back into this, man. It's unfortunate that this has to happen. Take over territories and annex people into their armies, especially Jews. You can Google it right now. This proves Don Wall is my nigga right here. Watch this. It should be the first page in this PDF where it talks about Jews who amalgamated into the Roman army. You have that? Yeah, he's got it. He's already got it. He had it before I even said it.
So this is a study. It's called "Sons of Israel in Caesar's Service: Jewish Soldiers in the Roman Military." It reads, "The participation."
So you try to run away from that cut. You try to wait. No, don't worry about it. I said, no, we're gonna read it. You want to start talking? We're gonna read it.
Roman Jewish soldiers in the armies of Imperial Rome often goes unrecognized. It is often difficult to identify Jewish soldiers, many of whom had Greek and Latin names.
Like Cornelius, which would be that, right? That's all I need right now. That proves that already. So that it gives validity to our statement. So it studies from the Italian band. Let's go to Acts chapter 18, verse 2.
This is Acts chapter 18 and verse 2. "And found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife."
Came from where?
Lately come from Italy.
So he's from a place where Israelites stayed. He's in an army where Israelites was also in this army. He says part of the Italian band, which Israelites were in Acts. So wait, hold on. I'm gonna land real quick. So looking at all that, how do we come to the conclusion that he's a non-Israelite if we have 3 things giving a testimony to where he could possibly be? It's like how do you come to that conclusion? Like we haven't even got past, like Matthias, you have to see this, bro. We haven't even got past verse 1. We haven't even finished verse 1. And we've already shown 3 possibilities that this man could be an Israelite. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not on me to try to prove that, like, oh, he's emphatically an Israelite. I know in fact he's emphatically an Israelite because the Bible's been dealing with Israel all the way up to this point. It's for you to now show me that Cornelius is a non-Israelite. That's what he needs to do. And already looking at these 3 points, it's already going to be bad for you. It's horrible. It's horrible, man.
Let's go back to Acts chapter 10, right? The context of Acts chapter 10, Peter has a vision. God tells him he has a vision where God tells him, go.
Hold up, brother. What's your name? Zachary. I get your point. I want you to go there, but can you rationalize those points real quick that I made?
I am. I'm using the scripture. I'm trying to explain it, right?
I was like, he's not gonna deal with it. Of course you're not. Of course you're not. I don't even try to make niggas do. I don't even try to make niggas deal with it no more because it's like I'll give them one shot. You're not gonna deal with it. Okay, I see how this is gonna go. You're gonna say F everything that's been brought out. Here's my verse.
Oh yeah.
And let me do that.
Oh,
go ahead.
By my calculations, looking at that boy.
By my calculations, you guys are a bunch of niggas. But like it's like this though, right? It's like you can't. I realize you can't make somebody answer. Like I can sit here and keep asking you the same question. You can't make them answer. If you're not gonna deal with it, everybody gonna see it. But the point I was about to make is let us do that. Let you bring out a verse and we don't deal with it, and then just bring out other verses, and we're gonna be, oh yeah, he confounded SICARII. Like, that's crazy, man. Christians, it's just like it's like the cut just slide off of them, and they just walk down the street like nothing happened. It says unclean beast, and then automatically mean pork. He said Peter was having a vision about the Lord telling him to eat pork. I was like, no, that's not there, sir.
That's not what it was at all.
I said no, we're not about to get off subject, sir. No, we're not.
God told him to do something that the monster has to do, right? Well, I mean, if you guys say, you know, the scripture, like, where it does commit it, right? But it doesn't commit it, right? Peter being a Jew, I can't find the scripture, but it's in the law. Like God tells them to eat whatever they find. And all this other stuff. But that's besides the point.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
But what the point I'm trying to make is that he's giving them right? And we go into him wanting to commune with right? You go down to verse number 44, chapter 10. You go there. I don't know if you can touch commandments.
Which verse?
44 all the way down to 46. This is why people think that commune with the Gentiles.
And that's a Christian. Like, I want to talk about the Hebrew hopscotch. Here's the Christian cross up. Let me forget what verses you've said. I'm gonna bring this out, and this is gonna be it. That's the Christian cross up.
Book of Acts chapter 10 verse 44. While Peter yet spake these words, the Holy Spirit fell on all of them which heard the word. And they of the circumcision which believed were as astonished as many as came with Peter, because that on the Gentiles also was poured out of the gift of the Holy Spirit, for they heard them speak with tongues and magnify God. Then answered Peter, can any man forbid water that these should not be baptized, which have received the Holy Spirit as well as we? And he commanded them to be baptized in the name of the Lord. Then prayed they him to tarry certain days.
Okay, what does that prove?
Now, we can have a rebuttal about what the word Gentile.
I mean, you would have to now, because I disagree with what if you're gonna say Gentiles and not Israelite. I don't believe that in every case.
So yeah, that's what they told me too. They said Gentile is it means Hellenist, or just somebody else speaking. Right?
I can agree with that, but that don't mean Hellenist right there. And he's trying to say, I know IUIC didn't say that. He's trying to say the word right there in the Greek is Helen, like a Helleniste, like a Greek speaking Jew. I know he didn't say that because that's not there. It's just Gentile, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's go down. See the circumcision right here, verse 45. That word is ethnos, Gentiles. The word that gets translated into Gentiles, heathen nation or people, right? That this is just a regular old ethnos that we've always seen, have always taught about. That's not Hellenistes there. I know he didn't say that. He probably got cut. He probably got cut on Romans 1, where it says to the Jew first and then the Greek. That's probably where he was talking about.
I mean, but the word Greek, that's what it points to. Or somebody that's non-Israeli. That's what it normally means historically, right? But I mean, you can disagree with me all you want, but that scripture doesn't prove it alone. I have other scriptures like saying like this where it says Gentile.
He's like, there it is. There's a Christian, but there's a Christian cross up, right? Well, this chapter didn't prove it alone. I got other precepts. I was like, nah, niggas, you got put in a corner, and then you got to try to box your way out of it. That's what you're trying to do. I know how the game go, bro. Like it's just like box. You get knocked into a corner. You got to try to box your way out of it. You're trying to clinch right now. It's not happening. I'm not about to allow it.
Don't trust niggas whose beards don't grow, man.
It's just
except for my boy Hamad over there in the back, man. He cool people, man.
I think his beard grow. I think he just cut it, man, because he got hair on his face, and it don't look like it just don't. Because when it don't grow, it just looks smooth. It didn't look smooth. He's definitely cutting it for his job, man. You know, whatever man.
Hey man, look, this Christian, this Carlton looking dude. He said, "Oh no, these Hebrew Israelites are gonna get me, not by the hairs of my chin."
He said, "Not by the hairs of my chin." Oh my God, Zachary.
Okay, right.
So now let's do this, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So I provided with you. I said, hell no, it's not happening. We're going right back to what we was talking about. The first verse telling you where he's from. Jews in the army, which he was in. And hold on, let me land, bro. You can't adequately retort if I can't adequately give my answer.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying.
You don't know because I haven't said it exactly. Give me that respect. I'll let you first. I be trying to be so peaceful. I be trying so hard to be peaceful to people, bro. Like y'all, like if anybody's been watching this camp from the beginning, it would have never gone down like this.
And what this class would have stopped like 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes at least. At least, bro. The death scripture would have came out. I'm flipping out on people. I've grown a whole bunch. Just looking at this, I've grown a whole bunch. I'm trying to be so peaceful. Look, man, I just want to deal with the scriptures. I'm being sincere about it.
Now I'm gonna do this. I provided to you where he's from. I provided the army that he was in and Jews and a source, an actual biblical source that proves that Jews was in that army, and to show you that Jews was in Italy. Right? That's three witnesses. All you have right here, what you just read, it says the word Gentiles, and that's it. And screw those three witnesses. We're going to just say we're going to go into the word Gentile to say he's a Gentile. That's like, and let's see. You're in a court case. Let's say you're in a court case. If you bring one piece of evidence, and I have three pieces of evidence, which side is going to win? And we just deal with that.
That's the thing, it's circumstantial, right? It's only true if the circumstances line up. Now, you're saying these things, but...
And all three of them did. He said that only... He said, you'd have a...
This guy. Hold on, man. He just looks like he's dumbfounded right here. Just, man... There's no light in this man's eyes. So sad. So sad. Yeah, did you freeze? You definitely ain't muted, my guy. Now look who has the McDonald's Wi-Fi, man. But yeah, man. Make sure, let me see. Okay, yeah. He's got to pop out and pop back in. All praises. All praise. But yeah, man, this I don't understand why BLACCs act like this, man. They always got that soft, nurtured spirit and whatnot. Frankly, it's actually depressing. It's the same argument over and over. And honestly, what their mission is to keep a status quo of keeping our people down. We trying to raise our people up. It's a sad sight to see, but all praises that, you know, brothers are grown in the spirit to edify, man. You know, and I remember the powerful officer Hassad, he brought this out some time ago, man. Like a lot of times Israelites, we get so focused on just cutting. Where's the building at, man? Yeah, we got to cut these doctrines down, and for our people, we got to at least try to build them up some way. But if they ain't getting it, they ain't getting it. This brother here, he was just not getting it. He wasn't. The only thing on his mind is to dress like Tyler, the Creator, put on a cape, and play Captain Save a Edomite, man. That's the type of timing that these people be on, man. Sadly, it's our people, right? But don't trust. Let's see, that brother might be related to Alton Johnson. Dang. Hey, it's a possibility, man. I'm not gonna say that it is, but it is a possibility. All right. But yeah, man, make sure y'all are liking, subscribe, and share. I think we only have just a little bit of the video left to go through. Right. We just waiting on Yai to come back in. But yeah, if we got anybody in San Antonio, right? As you know, we Dallas, we're gonna try and make it a bit more of a habit to get out there. We're trying to build up San Antonio, trying to build up Austin. You know what I'm saying? Trying to build up righteous men of the Lord, brothers and sisters, so we can get up out of this place, man. All right. Let's see what we gotta do ritual before go to the corner. Start camp. We find Jehovah's Witness in the corner, man. Hosea Israel. Yo, you hunt down Jehovah's Witnesses like that, man. You said Canada. We got brothers in Canada. We got a camp in Canada, Bruce. We got some brothers out there, man. They out there, you know, doing their best to put in that work, man. We got brothers in Canada, Puerto Rico. I think we got brothers in the DR. I can't remember. I know we got brothers in Hawaii. We got brothers in the Netherlands. You know what I'm saying? We everywhere with it, man. And if there is not a SICARI camp where you at, man, hey, you know, reach out. You might be the first one. Somebody got to break ground sometime. Is what we do. Hey, man, look. Outside of the one video that me and Yachty reacted to with that one brother, them Jehovah's Witnesses, they're not fun anymore, man. At least not for me, anyways. If you got some Jehovah's Witnesses who actually want to deal and whatnot, by all means, speak to them. You know, but quite frankly, how can I put it? It's like trying to fish, and the fish just jumped in the boat. Like, where's the thrill in that? There's no. I can't kick back and fish like I want to. Okay, it's disturbing to the natural order of things. Man, if you've got some lively Jehovah's Witnesses, go ahead, man. Now, look, if they come to your door, that's a different story. Do I want Jehovah's Witnesses to come to the door? Absolutely not. If they do, I'm going to have the time of my life. There he is. You got that? Did you get your McDonald's Wi-Fi working, man? Or are you on that Burger King stuff? He got to be on that Burger King, man. Gots to be. He's got to be. Let's see, man. Yep, he's got that McDonald's Wi-Fi problem. You see what happens? To be honest, it really be StreamYard. To be honest, it's a if you ain't got like top of the line equipment, it can take a lot out of your PC. All right, you hop back in.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. Now we can hear you.
Golly, man. It's a freaking goddamn tornado outside. Knocked my
There's a
power off.
tornado outside?
I think so.
Oh, God.
I mean, you know, it's Texas stuff, man. It'll give me if you give me.
It's probably one of them Hindus doing some Christianist stuff.
Could be. Let's see.
They probably done found a cow and ate it on accident.
That's it. It knocked my power, my computer off, my Wi-Fi. I had to wait for the router. You know, it takes the router to forever turn back on. Let's see. We only had a little bit left of the video anyway.
Somebody else.
I can agree with that, but that don't mean Helen is right. You don't know what y'all said exactly. Give me that respect. I'll let your verse be read. Now I'm gonna do this. I provided to you where he's from. I provided the army that he was in and Jews and a source, an attributable source that proves that Jews was in that army, and to show you that Jews was in Italy. Right? That's three witnesses. All you have right here, what you just read, it says the word Gentiles, and that's it. Screw those three witnesses who want to just say they're going to go into the word Gentile to say he's a Gentile. That's like, and let's see, you're in a court case. Let's say you're in a court case. If you bring one piece of evidence, and I have three pieces of evidence, which side is going to win? And we just deal with that.
That's the thing, it's circumstantial, right? It's only true if the circumstances line up. Now, you're saying these things, but it's just as ludicrous for you to say that he was a Gentile as it is for you to say that he's not a Gentile.
No, it's not.
It's just as ludicrous for me to say that he's a Gentile as it is for you to say that he's not a Gentile as it is he's Israelite, because what you told me, they're all facts, but that doesn't tell me that he specifically was an Israelite.
You got a problem with that argument. And here's the thing. This is why I can believe what I believe in. It's on. I don't like the face I make right.
Clarity.
Okay, right. It's the onus of proving he is a non-Israelite is on him. There's no reason for me to believe from reading what was read in verse 1. There's no reason for me to believe it's a non-Israelite. even if it says the word Gentile, because the word Gentile is used in ways to where it can be used for an Israelite and a non-Israelite. And I know from reading what they call the Old Testament, who the covenant was made with, and from reading the prophecies to see who Christ would died for. So going all the way up to Acts chapter 10, it's not about to be something 100% different. These are things that don't change. Yahweh's word does not change. If he says something, like if he says something in the law, if he says something in the prophets, and he speaks through Christ, I'm not about to now get to Acts 10 and bug out and think the entire Bible is just taking a divergence from the story it's already established all the way to this point. Like that's not what's happening. So it's you have the onus. It's on you to prove that this is a non-Israelite. Because here's the thing. Let me go back to the Bible, and then we can go. I just gotta get one verse. Let's see. Galatians. See what your Messiah Paul had to say about this situation, right? This is Galatians 2, verse 7. It's about contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me, as the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter. Right? So a Christian, you can argue a Christian and Hebrew Israelite are going to have two separate definitions of what the uncircumcision is here. I could care less about, I could give two shits about it, to be honest, right? Because the point I'm trying to make is the gospel of the circumcision was given unto Peter. Nobody's going to argue what that is. We all know that's Jews and Jewry. That's Israelites. That's Judeo-Israelites. So when we get to Acts chapter 10, it's not about to be something completely different. The gospel for specifically the Jews and Jewry, or the Jews, or just the Jews in that land, right? That was committed unto Peter. Peter is the one the vision's happening to in Acts chapter 10. Peter is the person Cornelius is going to. So I'm not about to turn around and say in Acts chapter 10, oh, he's a non-Israelite, because now that just messes up the entire flow of the Bible and what Paul says here in Galatians chapter 2. Now, if this happened to Paul, then, I mean, even then it'd still be flimsy, but you'd have a better point, because the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto him.
No, I'm gonna explain why.
Okay,
right? Because I give it, like, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go to the reason why you answer the deduction, right? So I said those 3 points. I've shown you an extra biblical source where Israelites stayed there. Then you go to the word Gentile. The word Gentile can be used for Israelites and non-Israelites. Okay,
and see that? Look at that pride. And this word's about to be a track star. I love pulling this now. Like this is one of the easiest ways to cut somebody trying to just freely use the word Gentile.
I don't want that. Give me First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Watch this.
No, that's crazy.
Watch this. No, wait.
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? And he knows I got something for him. You know, you seen somebody. It's just like remember we was talking about the other day about Red's dad.
God.
But like Red,
oh God,
he saw Red.
What are you
Red
doing coming around these people?
He saw what was up. He knew what was coming for him, and that's why he was trying to say, "No, man."
Look, brother.
That's where they lost.
No. Because Proverbs says if you answer a man before you hear the cause, you become a fool. So hear the reasoning behind what I'm saying. It's not this. You haven't heard this. I know they don't break it down.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and a holy nation.
Holy what?
A holy nation.
What's the word for nation right there in Greek? Masculine. It's Gentile. It's ethnos. The same one you see over there in Acts. It is. You want to prove that to you? Pull it up. And if that's, you know that's talking about Israelites.
How about we do this?
No, wait a second. No, you gotta do that. You gotta do this. Hold up a second. Real quick.
I'll look it up in Acts.
I got you. Right? Now we see this. It doesn't even matter with that in Acts, but here's the thing. And right here, Zachary, calm down, bro. I can have a cordial conversation with you without interrupting.
He's done because he knows what's there. You got on Blue Letter. You looked at 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9, and you saw it was bad for you. That's what happened. Let's look at that. Y'all want to play a game with the word Gentile or ethnos, right? 1 Peter 2 and 9 is, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, right? That same word for nation right there in the Greek is, guess what? Ethnos, right? Let's click that word. Let's see where it's located. Because when you scroll down the Blue Letter Bible app, right? Y'all can see that? Yeah, y'all can see that. When you scroll down, you can see where it's used. Now let's see if it's in Acts 10, right? Acts 10, verse 45. Just so happened to be in the same verse that you pulled in Acts chapter 10. So you're really finished. Because if that's all you had, because you don't got nothing in Acts chapter 1. You don't got nothing in the rest. I mean, you got the part where it says another nation, which we can deal with after this, right? But you got, if this is all you have in Acts chapter 10, verse 45 is, it says Gentiles, it means the non-Israelite. You're going to now have to explain 1 Peter 2, verse 9. And you can't. That word Gentiles that word Gentile or nation or people or heathen or group of people is used multiple places and used for different things. So now, if you don't have that, you don't have verse 1, you have nothing to stand on to say this is a non-Israelite. Emphatically. The same argument you want to try to make and say, just because Jew stay there doesn't mean he's a Jew, right? I can make that same argument just because you're saying it says Gentiles here. That doesn't mean he's a Gentile because this word's used both ways. So now it's the same thing that happened with Jonathan, right? Remember Mike and John? It's the same thing. So if we're going to be at a disagreement now, we're now going to have to see who Christ died for then. And you don't want to take it there because all the prophecies, Christ's words, and all that stuff points to him dying for Israel. That's why you want to try to flee, because you know what's going to happen. Like once you realize that ethnos or Gentiles use that way, you are fucked. I'm just gonna say it like that. Scary hours. You are now fucked. Every point you were gonna make is just thrown away now, because you know you can't see. Like, here's the thing: Christians know at this point in all these major cities. I've come to realize Christians know who we are. They know we read that Old Testament. They know we know the law. They know we know the prophets. That's not a realm you want to step in. So now, seeing that you're going to now have to step in that realm, you know what's coming for you. So now you want to flee. And that's what happens here. Watch this.
I can, but you're interrupting me. That's the thing. Now here's the point. Now here's my point. I'm listening. You can't listen. No, because here's the thing. Bro.
What you're saying, it just ain't right, man. It just ain't right. Why? Because you're cut. That's why it's not right. Because you're dealing with scriptures. Because you're dealing with scriptures, and you're dealing with somebody who knows what they say. And all you have is this in John 3:16. You know John 3:16 is tired. At this point, Christians just know what's coming. Ones who actually study a little bit, just a little bit, like Zachary, right? They know what's coming when you bring John 3:16. So y'all come with these extras, like Acts chapter 10. You know what's coming to you, Zachary. That's why you want to flee. Because you came outside looking like a goddamn Carlton Banks reject, right? You watched this. You went over there and put that speaker playing that soft ass gospel music over there, watching us actually talk to people and have Bible literacy. And you thought through your Christian pride, just because you're a part of a theology or a religious system that's existed for a goddamn millennia now, you think just because that's been in existence, you now know everything. You now know what you're talking about, and we're coming with something new. We're actually coming with the actual woke breakdown. Y'all, people want to talk about the word woke all the time. The only people woke on this planet are Israelites, because we know the beginning and the end. We know that through the prophets are called the seers. What do they see? A vision. What do the visions entail? what's going to happen in their time period, what's going to happen in the immediate future, what's going to happen in our future, and what's going to happen in eschatology. We know that we're the only ones that are woke, and you're not. Y'all sit in the Christian church every single Sunday, ever learning and never coming to the knowledge of the truth. But for some reason, when you get cut and put in a mental trick bag 3 different ways, you walk around like you're right after that. That's madness. That's pride. That's one thing. I see why the Lord hates that, because it's frustrating. That's like if you see your kid stick his hand on the stove and get burnt, and you tell him don't do that again because you're gonna get burnt. They just said, no, you don't know what you're talking about, and they keep getting burnt. That's frustrating as a parent. At that, like you have to come to realize that your child is so freaking dumb that you're just not gonna get it. That's what it is. Right? If they're gonna keep touching it and keep getting burnt after you tell them stop doing that, it's like, well, damn, I guess you're going to just keep getting burnt. I guess you're going to just walk around, keep holding hands with your oppressor over there who's lying to the people on the other side of the street, and just die along with him. That's what it is. That's how Israelites feel. And in that, we have to now show the fruits of the Spirit and have self-control and not snap on y'all, because when we snap on y'all, here come our own people who's woke. Oh, you guys are so hard on these people. Oh, you guys are this and y'all are that. Y'all just come out there to yell at people, right? That's what we have to deal with. We actually have to now be subject to rules and regulations that are even harder than just a regular Israelite sitting on the damn couch. But here you come, get to walk up with your oppressor, looking like a goddamn Carlton Banks reject, the old one, not the new one who's on cocaine, right? The old one. That's what you came up looking like, thinking you know something, saying, "Oh, what you're saying isn't right." When you got put in a trick bag, man, just humble down. All you gotta do is humble down. It's not like when I get
a Christian humble.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say a Christian be humble. That's a good one.
I know, and that's the thing that made me mad too. It's like I come out there, I read about Israel being hard-headed monsters, right? Hard-headed, pride-filled, murderous monsters, right? And we still have to, because of what the Lord's Son said, we have to still prophesy to y'all. We cut y'all with the same Bible you say you believe in, and you still have the unmitigated gall to think you know more than us. To think that we're just crazy, to think that we don't know what we're talking about. It's so frustrating. And inside, at this point inside, I'm just bubbling. Just like I want to just pull out old Yachty so he can find out. that's what I wanted to do. But no, I'm trying to show the fruits of the Spirit. And ever since I've been on this kick, because I remember see my personal testimony, right? There was the last time I flipped out and went old Yachty is when we was in Deep Ellum, and this one dude was trying to come up with this Egyptian stuff and saying like we don't know nothing. And I realized that like me just yelling at somebody, right? It's not even really helping myself. And then like I read about the fruits of the Spirit, I can do that and be better, right? I can be subjected to and submit to the scriptures. I can do that. So let me change my way and grow from how I used to be. Right, that's what I've done, and I have to sit here and be subjected to these niggas. Right, I gotta be subjected to these niggas who claim to be about the fruits of the Spirit, say they're about the fruits of the Spirit, right, and do this. You don't see Paul running from smoking acts. You see Paul catching smoke in every goddamn city he was in, getting stoned to death behind the smoke, and still standing bold on what he believes in. But y'all don't represent that. This is crazy. I don't know, man. You got something to say?
Yeah, the dude all the way in the back with the camera and the backpack and the hat, the Edomite back there, is that his homie or something?
I think so.
Because I think that's what it is. His master's waiting on him to be done so they can leave.
Yeah, because on the other side is where that stoplight is, on the red stoplight, that's where they're up there holding camp. And at the end of that street right there is where this is like the main entrance to where everybody goes into the Riverwalk, like where all the tourists go. So like at this part when it gets nighttime, like next time we go out there, this is prime time Like we can take all these blocks, but like right here, this is the chief place of concourse, like a mug. But yeah, man, that's where they be holding camp at. We just run them off the block, man. It is what it is. I got no respect for them. I ain't ready.
You don't want to try to hear. No, you don't try to hear, bro. And that's why you're gonna stay lost, Zachary. You don't want to hear nothing. But we prove that we know more than you. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. We're more scholastic than you are. You just see something that says Gentile, a white man says it means a non-Israelite, so now it's a non-Israelite. So when we go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, when it calls Israel a holy Gentile, right? It says a holy Gentile, and he don't want to look it up because he knows it's going to cut it. If that's the case, that means that word can be used both ways. So now, whatever point you made in Acts chapter 10 is debunked immediately. Because I've already substantiated Israelites being there. You haven't substantiated the otherwise. And like I said, if we was in a court case and it was split down the middle and you had one piece of evidence and I have three that are damning, right? And you have one that's flimsy at best, it don't stand up against nothing. You're gonna lose that. Right. And I can easily just have an easy conversation. And people I gotta say this. The reason why we can do that as Israelites and have a peaceful conversation without trying to interrupt somebody is because we have the truth. People who don't have the truth have to interrupt people's testimony so that their testimony, their flimsy testimony, can stand. That's what that is. That's Christianity for you. People need to come out of that. It's like a pseudo version of pride. You don't know nothing. Like, it's crazy how you can pull out an extra biblical source that goes right along with what you just read, and damn all that, it says Gentile. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all are Christianity, man. White supremacist cult, man. But with that, I'm going to say, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and say shalom.
Shalom.
And I got to say this, too, before we get at it. What I mean by that, I've been noticing that a lot. Like, as much as I be on the streets and deal with people, I've come to realize when you have the truth, you can make a statement and let it sit out there. But people who don't know anything, when you try to talk or when testimony is given, they have to try to talk over it because they don't stand on anything. That's how you notice it. That's how you know if somebody has the truth or not. When they have to now over talk true statements and statements that are factual and have foundations. It's crazy. I just come to realize, I'm just like, bro, even when I watched that last debate Chief had with that Kemet dude, every time Chief went to make a statement, here he is talking over that. You know why you have to do that? Because you don't have anything substantial to give. All you have is emotional tirades when you don't know nothing. That's what happens when you have an empty mouth. It makes you the loudest motherfucker on the block. I hate that spirit upon people because I know where it comes from and I know it's pride, and they know themselves that they don't know anything, but they're still with that pride are gonna try to buck up against you. It's annoying as hell, bro. With that, I ain't got nothing else to say. What you got, Matati, before we close out?
Hey man, we saw Carlton try to be cool for a hot second, and then he had to go run with his friends, man.
Nuts, bro.
Because make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share. You know what I'm saying? Hit up Deacon SICARII if you're trying to join, SICARII Varsity. Make sure to join CZYN Network. We done with Patreon. CZYN Network. And make sure you go to Urban Gorilla. That's Urban Gorilla. That's URBNGRLA.com. Go there for all your, street Hebrew Israelite, needs. I think Chief has been doing a promo code every Monday. So tune in on a Monday class and, get you a little discount or something if he's still doing it, man. But yeah, that's all I got.
How does this man even remember all that? You just sit at the house just memorizing the plug, man. And also, before we get out of here, man, like brother said already, like, subscribe, man, share the video, man. And if it be on your heart, support the ministry. Cash App SICARII Dallas, Cash App Mathathia. The brothers out here laboring to do their work, man. And the audio Bible, that too, right, Jose?
Oh, yeah. Make sure you go to a Matazah Labs page And make sure y'all go and get that channel for the audio Bible. You know, Shatar, you know, Amataz Alab is doing a righteous and mighty work with the audio Bible. He's like the Morgan Freeman of SICARII. And he a Benjamite. So yeah.
It's funny as hell. But yeah, man, with that, I'm gonna say call halal Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and say Shalom Israel.
Shalom.